Welcome back, and joining me for a look at the weekend day in markets is Frants Preis from Preis Investments. Thank you so much for your time, Frants. It's been quite an interesting week, in which, after a good September, has started off looking like it's going to be a shaky October. What's your take on what has kept investors on edge this week?
Thanks for having me on the show today. Most certainly would be the non-farm payrolls. This has definitely contributed to a stronger dollar against the rand over the past week. The September non-farm payrolls report is expected to show around 150,000 new jobs added, with the unemployment rate holding steady at 4.2% and wage growth staying at 3.8%. Although some signals are mixed. On one hand, job openings jumped in August, pointing to a tighter labor market, but the unemployment numbers from the manufacturing index took a dip. Overall, the recent trend in US economic data has been stronger than expected.
Okay.
So this report could play a big role in shaping whether the Fed opts for smaller rate cuts in November instead of the larger ones some were expecting.
So would you say, just from, just to our, a disclaimer to our viewers, we are pre-recording this interview. So, of course, by the time it plays out, the non-farm payrolls will have come out. But from just the data that we have had so far before this NFP figure for today, would you say that the labor market is still looking strong in the US?
Yes, that does seem to be the case.
All right. It's going to be quite interesting as we comb through those numbers, particularly looking at that unemployment figure as well. Well, Frants, let's get to some of the company news that came out of the JSE today. Firstly, we had EOH coming out with a year-end trading statement. They're not giving us a lot of color, but basically saying that their losses have improved. Does it seem like it's taking a while for EOH to kind of get to the other side of profitability?
Yes, so the trading statement shows a significant improvement in financial performance, as you mentioned, with a projected reduction in headline losses for the financial year. However, this positive news is tempered by ongoing corruption allegations that could affect investor confidence and market perception, although the share has been up year to date in the vicinity of 32%. So while the company appears to be making strides in operational efficiency, the legal issues may overshadow these improvements and impact future business opportunities. So moving forward, EOH will need to prioritize transparency and ethical practices to regain stakeholder trusts more fully.
All right. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey there on EOH, as of course they try to shed off kind of legacy past issues and trying to really look forward to a new dawn of profitability and operational excellence. Frants, let's get to BWORLD because they put out a further cautionary announcement. We've been getting these for quite a while. Have any rumors come out on what this deal could be, or maybe what investors would like it to be?
Yes, while the company hasn't provided any specific details, it has noted that these talks may involve a potential acquisition by the Saudi Arabian company called Zaid Group, which already holds around 19% stake in BWORLD. So given the uncertainty surrounding the negotiations, shareholders have been advised to continue exercising caution when dealing with their securities until more information is released. There's also some speculation that the deal could lead to BWORLD being taken private.
All right. We'll talk about deals. Met-Air has bought AutoZone, a business that is in business rescue. What are you making of this new acquisition by Met-Air?
Yeah, I believe that the deal's long-term success will largely depend on the group's ability to successfully integrate and address AutoZone's financial instability, especially given AutoZone's previous struggles. So The acquisition of AutoZone for 290 million rand seems like a strategic move to diversify its exposure in the automotive aftermarket supply chain sector in Africa. And by purchasing a well-established brand undergoing business rescue, they can potentially unlock value through synergies, primarily leveraging AutoZone's distribution channels across Southern Africa.
All right. Well, let us get to your stock pick for today, Frants. What are you hanging your hat on?
So stock I like at the moment is Richemont, the luxury goods company behind the brands like Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, Piaget, and Montblanc. It stands out for me in the luxury world because it focuses on high quality craftsmanship and long-term growth. Their portfolio is broad, covering everything from jewelry and watches to accessories, and it gives them a solid foothold in both emerging and established markets. So also the recent Chinese stimulus announcements are supportive for the luxury goods sector. Regionally, I think the company made a really smart move to focus on Asia Pacific, Japan, and the Americas, which position them for further sustainable growth. Also, their shift towards a direct-to-client model is paying off, with nearly 70% of their sales now coming from retail. It shows that luxury consumers who also happen to be able to afford expensive things during tough economic times are craving that personal, direct connection with the brands they love.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for giving us analysis on what has moved investors' money today and this week. France, that was Frants Preis from Preis Investments.